Imagine a machine that can keep food fresh for days or even weeks. You can find one in almost every home, restaurant, supermarket, hospital, and laboratory around the world. Yet most people have no idea how it actually works. Many believe that a refrigerator simply creates cold. In reality, that is not true at all. A refrigerator does not produce cold. It removes heat. This may sound surprising, but it is one of the most important principles of physics. Cold is not a form of energy that can be generated. Instead, it simply means that an object contains less thermal energy than its surroundings. To cool food, a refrigerator continuously removes heat from the air, the shelves, and everything stored inside, then transfers that heat into the room. If you have ever touched the back of a refrigerator, you may have noticed that it feels warm. That is completely normal. The heat removed from inside the refrigerator has to go somewhere, and it is released through the cooling system on the back or underneath the appliance. In other words, a refrigerator works much like a heat pump, moving heat from a colder place to a warmer one. This entire process is made possible by a special fluid called a refrigerant. Refrigerants have unique properties that allow them to change between liquid and gas at relatively low temperatures and pressures. During these changes of state, they can absorb or release large amounts of thermal energy, making modern refrigeration possible. If you like similar educational content, please like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. Every household refrigerator contains 4 essential components: the compressor, which compresses the refrigerant; the condenser, where the hot refrigerant releases heat into the surrounding air; the expansion valve or capillary tube, which rapidly lowers the refrigerant's pressure; and finally, the evaporator, hidden inside the refrigerator, where the refrigerant absorbs heat from the food compartment. These 4 components form a completely closed system in which the refrigerant circulates continuously. The cycle repeats over and over again, often thousands of times every single day. Thanks to this process, the inside of a refrigerator typically stays at around 4 degrees Celsius, while the freezer compartment remains close to -18 degrees Celsius, even when the kitchen itself is much warmer. At first glance, this may seem almost like magic. In reality, however, it is an elegant application of thermodynamics and engineering that has transformed the way people store food for more than a century. In the next part, we'll follow the refrigerant through the entire cooling cycle to see exactly how this remarkable machine works. The entire refrigeration cycle begins with the compressor, often called the heart of the refrigerator. If you've ever heard the familiar humming sound coming from your refrigerator, that's the compressor running. Its job is to draw in the refrigerant as a cool, low-pressure gas from the evaporator and compress it into a much smaller volume. When a gas is compressed, something very important happens. The molecules are forced much closer together, causing both the pressure and the temperature to increase dramatically. By the time the refrigerant leaves the compressor, it has become a hot, high-pressure gas, often much hotter than the surrounding room air. Next, this hot refrigerant flows into the condenser. In older refrigerators, the condenser is the black metal coil mounted on the back of the appliance. In many modern refrigerators, it is hidden underneath or inside the cabinet, but it performs exactly the same function. As the hot refrigerant travels through the condenser coils, it releases its heat into the surrounding air. This is why the back or bottom of a refrigerator feels warm during operation. As heat leaves the refrigerant, it gradually changes from a gas back into a liquid. This process is called condensation. Many people assume that leaving the refrigerator door open will cool the kitchen. In reality, the opposite happens. The refrigerator removes heat from inside its compartment, but releases that heat, along with the electrical energy used by the compressor, back into the room. As a result, an open refrigerator actually makes the room slightly warmer. After leaving the condenser, the refrigerant is now a warm, high-pressure liquid. It then passes through one of the smallest but most important components in the entire system, the expansion valve or capillary tube. The purpose of this component is not to cool the refrigerant directly, but to suddenly reduce its pressure. As the pressure drops almost instantly, the refrigerant's temperature also drops dramatically. This is a basic principle of thermodynamics and can be observed in everyday life. For example, if you've ever used an aerosol spray for several seconds, you've probably noticed that the can becomes cold. The rapidly expanding gas absorbs thermal energy from its surroundings. After passing through the expansion valve, the refrigerant becomes a very cold, low-pressure liquid, ready to enter the evaporator. This is where the actual cooling of the refrigerator begins. In the next part, we'll see how the evaporator removes heat from food and why the refrigeration cycle can continue operating efficiently for many years. Once the cold, low-pressure refrigerant enters the evaporator, the most important stage of the refrigeration cycle begins. The evaporator is usually hidden behind the inner wall of the refrigerator or inside a dedicated air channel, so most people never actually see it. Yet it is here that the cooling effect is created. Inside the evaporator, the refrigerant is under very low pressure and has an extremely low temperature. Under these conditions, it begins changing from a liquid into a gas. This process is called evaporation. However, for a liquid to evaporate, it must absorb a significant amount of thermal energy. Where does that energy come from? It comes directly from inside the refrigerator. The refrigerant absorbs heat from the air, the shelves, the drinks, and the food stored inside. In other words, it literally pulls heat out of everything inside the refrigerator. As thermal energy is removed, the temperature of the refrigerator compartment begins to drop. The more heat the refrigerant absorbs, the more it evaporates. By the time it reaches the end of the evaporator, it has become a cool, low-pressure gas once again. It then flows back to the compressor, where the entire refrigeration cycle starts all over again. One of the most remarkable aspects of this system is that the refrigerant is never consumed. It continuously circulates inside a completely sealed system, changing only its pressure, temperature, and physical state between liquid and gas. As long as there is no refrigerant leak or mechanical failure, this closed-loop cycle can operate reliably for many years. Modern refrigerators are also equipped with a thermostat or multiple electronic temperature sensors. These constantly monitor the temperature inside the refrigerator. Whenever the temperature rises, for example after opening the door or placing warm food inside, the control system starts the compressor. Once the desired temperature has been reached, the compressor switches off. This is why refrigerators do not run continuously, but cycle on and off throughout the day. Another essential feature is thermal insulation. The walls of a refrigerator contain thick layers of insulating foam that dramatically reduce the amount of heat entering from the surrounding room. Good insulation allows the refrigerator to maintain a low internal temperature while using much less electricity. You may also have noticed small water droplets forming inside the refrigerator after opening the door. This happens because warm air entering from the room contains water vapor. When that moist air touches the cold evaporator, the water vapor condenses into liquid water. If the surface is cold enough, it freezes into frost. This frost gradually reduces cooling efficiency by acting as an insulating layer. To solve this problem, modern refrigerators use a technology called no-frost. In the next part, we'll explore how no-frost systems automatically remove ice buildup and why they have become a standard feature in today's refrigerators. One of the biggest improvements in modern refrigeration technology is the no-frost system. Older refrigerators and freezers had one major disadvantage. Over time, a thick layer of ice gradually formed on the evaporator. This ice acted as an insulator, reducing the transfer of heat. As a result, the refrigerator had to run longer, consume more electricity, and eventually required manual defrosting. The no-frost system solves this problem almost completely. Instead of placing the evaporator directly inside the refrigerator compartment, it is hidden behind an internal panel. A powerful circulation fan continuously moves cold air throughout both the refrigerator and freezer compartments, ensuring that the temperature remains much more even than in older designs. Moisture from the air freezes onto the evaporator rather than on the food or the walls of the refrigerator. At regular intervals, the refrigerator's electronic control system temporarily switches off the compressor and activates a small defrost heater mounted near the evaporator. The accumulated ice melts into water, which flows through a drain into a collection tray located above the compressor. The heat produced by the compressor then gradually evaporates this water back into the surrounding air. The entire process happens automatically, and most users never even notice it. Another major innovation is the inverter compressor. Traditional refrigerators operate in only two modes, completely on or completely off. Every time the compressor starts, it runs at full power until the desired temperature is reached. This frequent starting and stopping increases energy consumption, creates more noise, and places additional stress on mechanical components. An inverter compressor works differently. Instead of constantly switching on and off, it can continuously adjust its speed depending on the cooling demand. If the refrigerator only needs a small amount of cooling, the compressor runs slowly and quietly. After warm groceries are placed inside, it automatically increases its speed to remove the extra heat more quickly. Once the temperature returns to normal, it slows down again. This variable speed operation offers several important advantages. It reduces electricity consumption, produces less noise, minimizes wear on mechanical components, maintains a more stable temperature, and often extends the overall lifespan of the refrigerator. Air circulation inside the refrigerator is equally important. Manufacturers recommend avoiding overfilling the shelves because cold air needs space to circulate freely between food items. If airflow is blocked, some areas may become warmer than others, reducing cooling performance. The refrigerator's location also affects its efficiency. If it is installed too close to a wall, next to an oven, or near another heat source, the condenser cannot release heat as effectively. The compressor must then work harder and longer, increasing electricity consumption. For this reason, manufacturers always recommend leaving enough space around the refrigerator for proper ventilation. Thanks to these technologies, modern refrigerators can operate continuously for many years while maintaining stable temperatures, consuming relatively little electricity, and keeping food fresh far longer than was possible just a few decades ago. Thanks to this elegant combination of physics, thermodynamics, mechanical engineering, and materials science, the refrigerator has become one of the most important household appliances ever invented. It has transformed food preservation, reduced food waste, improved public health, changed the way people shop and cook, and made modern life possible for billions of people around the world.